DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Time for the question of the morning. PK, college football has begun. The practices, at least. The game's still about a month away. But the practices have begun. Day one. We meet new players. We learn new things. We talk to coaches about said new players. We learn more new things. You and I made the trip to Provo. Did you come back packing extra knowledge?
I did. Well, confirming what I've already believed for months. And then some other stuff I felt a little more encouraged about from the BYU perspective. So, yeah.
What did you confirm and what encouraged you?
I'm not going to share that.
Okay, then. Awesome radio right there. Why don't you people mind your own business?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, how does this radio thing work? Explain it to me again. Wait, we learn stuff and we tell them.
I suppose I don't feel like it. What are you going to
give me? The show is in trouble.
Give me something. Show up at the KSL building. Give me a breakfast burrito.
We'll trade sports knowledge for food. Yeah. Signed, PK.
Right. I mean, we have to sign those payola things, but they never said anything about that.
Right.
This isn't a business. We can't do that. I can't get free whatever and pump your whatever, but this is all I want is a breakfast burrito, and I'll give you all the information I have. That's a fair trade. Come on, people. Just ring the doorbell, and DJ will go down and give you a signed autograph and get me a burrito. And that's a win-win right there. Wouldn't you say? I would say, yeah, I think so. You can sit over there and be quiet. That doesn't bother me. I can talk. Yeah, I can talk for 2.5 hours. No problem. Ready to go.
And bring it.
I got, I've already been to the gym. I got a lot of energy right now. And got water. I'm good.
You figured a Tiger Bachmeier would be a good interview. You confirmed
I didn't know.
He's not only good, but he's actually great.
He's great. He's a great interview. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If he's as good a wide receiver as he is an interview, then BYU fans are going to be on their feet cheering a lot this year.
And we'll be playing that in the next day or so. But, yeah, that's an outstanding interview right there. He's a great, a lot of personality, and a smaller kid compared to his brother or brothers, because Hank, quarterback over there, last Boise for a bit, and then he went on his way, transferred. And Bear is a bigger kid. But, Tiger's been around, and he's got experience, some years at Stanford there. And, play with them while you're in the woods. You got a Tiger and a Bear squaring off, who's going to win. And he graduated. Obviously, he went with the Tiger, and then he graduated in 2.5 years. And I said, well, your brother went to Stanford too. Yeah, but he didn't graduate. I just put him in his place. So he had personality, and he's got experience. And we'll see what he can do to work his way in the depth chart. I mean, we talked to Fesi Sataki, then we'll play that interview in about, 2.5 hours.
1.5. 9 o'clock.
I knew my math sucks. Obviously Roberts is there, and I said, who else you got? You got to have other guys, obviously. And then he mentioned Kingston and Phillips. Did he mention somebody else?
Those are the two. He mentioned multiple people,
right,
but those are the two.
We put them on tiers.
Right. Those are the two who are – the other guys, I think, have to catch those two.
Yeah, he said it's their time. Their time has come. He said their time is up, but what he meant is their time is now. When you hear him say their time is up, he means it's time for them to
the development time. Yeah, the development time is. Phillips, you always want to get better, but it's come and gone. They got to produce.
Kingston and special teams look great. I mean, if you got those initials, they're obviously great.
Nice.
And then Phillips, he certainly looks the part. There's no doubt about that. And he's been in the program now a couple of years, so I get where he's coming from Fessi's perspective. And then they've got 4 or 5, maybe even 6 other guys. How's it going to play out? I mean, you want that competition. And Hagan in there, kid from corner, who's super fast and is, a couple years now removed from his mission. So he should be whatever he is, has that ability to display it. Still a young kid, not necessarily chronologically, but in the program. But he's had time to, what they talk about, that mission rust and legs and stuff. I've never done any of that, so I wouldn't have any idea what that's about. I guess I'd have an idea because I've talked to so many of them over the years about it. And I'm encouraged there that they've got other guys. to pick up the slack with Lassiter not getting the year back. And
he made a lot of plays for them, so they really need someone to step into that role.
He did, but I think they've got other guys. And Fessy is not one of these dudes who's going to run his mouth with no backing. Not been my experience. He's a good interview, a very personable guy. But, he knows what he's talking about. He's been there a number of years now. Been there coaching at BYU, I think, longer than he said any other place. And so he's a veteran. The staff is a very veteran staff, and that's really cool to have so many guys that these are professional college coaches for sure. They're not in training. And then, with these so-called analysts, the guys, the Gary Anderson type, if you got a Gary Anderson who's down your coaching depth chart, so to speak, that's a pretty good person to have because he's been around the block 100 times. And he knows football.
And combine these guys now have all seen a lot. They've been in a lot of situations. They got stuff to draw on.
Yeah. And they know how to make changes, and they can anticipate, so they can tell us stuff off to the side, and we can bring it on there and share some of it no. But that's cool there, and it's across the board. And then I still don't think there's I know others have disagreed. I don't think there's a leader in the starting quarterback spot.
And you think that in the long run, they're going to find a way to get Bear Bachmeier on the field, and then it'll be his job to seize with his play once he gets there. But long term,
well, if we go into next year, this year, who knows how it's going to play out. But and people were, when we got there with the open segment there, they let you see, and he was with the first team. And I know that was news, and it should be reported, but it is zero surprise. He will receive every opportunity
to seize that job.
I've been saying this for months.
The only question is, can a true freshman who wasn't here for spring ball get his arms all the way around the offense in 30 days? Okay, and if the answer is yes, or maybe even if it's just close to yes, then he can be the guy.
Can a true whatever?
No.
Can that and it's more amplified because the young man is that.
Right.
But
it's always the question.
Yeah, it is. It's across the board.
A senior who can't quite get his arms all the way around the offense can lose the job. Right. Yeah.
I mean, they had that with Retzlaff. The minute Retzlaff, the news broke, they knew he was gone. I know some fans held out hope, and I got asked 100 times, and I checked immediately.
But the coaches on the inside didn't really believe there was going to be a path forward.
Right. And so then they go get, when Bachmeier put his name in, it was celebration time. Hey, we got a shot, because they'd had a relationship. And they talk about this. That's what these bounce-back things are in recruiting, is that it never ends.
The line used to be, it doesn't matter if you finish second, and now it does.
It does. You're right. Yeah, it does.
And that was something, that was such a cliche. Yeah. Hey, we came in second on that kid.
Whoop-de-freaking-do.
Right. But now with the transfer portal, all right, let's wait and see. Maybe that does matter.
You never know. And they changed coaches on him up there, over there, down there in Stanford, Palo Alto, and so he got out of there. And we'll see. I don't know. I am not saying one or the other is going to be the starter, and it very well could be Hillstead all the way, absolutely. But the other guys are going to get a great opportunity of that. They're going to get all the opportunity they need to be a starter. That's a fact. So I think those are the couple of things. And then I got some Utah things. Yeah, because I went up there too. And I was in the side of the camera on one of them. And a guy texts me, or I saw a thing on Twitter, and PK, he's looking old. Yeah, well, I am old. I'm taking the Kenny Dillingham thing. Yeah, it's hot.
Deal with it.
What?
Deal with it.
That's even more awesome. I'm old as crap, and I still have a job, and I went to Utah and BYU yesterday, so nothing's changed. The lines on my face, they've been earned. The giddy up in my hitch is less. It's been earned. The gray in my hair.
Earned.
Yes. You should be so fortunate. I'll just leave it at
fact.
that.
That's right. Fact right there.
My attitude is still as salty as ever. And you know where you can go and you know what you can do to yourself? Yeah.
Hey now.
Right. That's what I'm telling you.
Didn't get enough of a reaction out of me, so you just kept pushing it. You just keep looking at me like, well.
Did I break down your resistance as you started off the week telling me?
Eventually, yes, you did. I think you did, and I think that was the moment right there.
Did you break her resistance down like you do with everybody else? I got to laugh when I said that at home. I think that in my time being around Utah football to an extent, that Devin Dampier has more charisma than any quarterback who's played at Utah in my time.
That's saying something right there.
Yeah.
They've had some charismatic guys. Brian Johnson for sure.
I give the edge to Dampier in charisma. Brian, and I've said this often, was the best leader of a team at the college level that I've seen. And he was, we made a big deal about 17. At no point was he ever 17.
Yeah, 17 going on 20.
Right. And he was always ahead of the game that way.
Right into his coaching career.
Right.
He can't even rent a car, but we're sending him on recruiting trips.
He probably was that way at 12.
Probably.
In Texas.
That's why there's that phrase, he's an old soul.
Yeah, and he had the ability to rally people, people much older. Everybody in the media loved him. And Dampier, he has charisma. They tell us he has leadership, and I can see based on the charisma, he's a talker, he's full of energy, people are drawn to him. And Kyle made a point, and I can totally see this, because we were around Dampier a little bit in the spring, we're around Dampier down in Texas, and just the first day, I mean, he didn't even get to the 2-minute mark, and they're screaming last question, which I think is a little silly.
Why, when a guy has that much charisma and is brand new, in an era when no one can raise enough money, put the people out there that the fans are going to bond with? Why do you think they're going to open their wallets?
And he's a person you would bond with. He has a $1 million smile. And he can talk, and he's a dynamic player, all this stuff. And so the one thing that caught my ear when Kyle said that was, you would expect him to be the leader of the offense. But Kyle says that Dampier has made it a point to know most of the folk on the other side of the ball too. And so he feels like Kyle, speaking, Dampier is a leader of the team. And based on the evidence that I've seen, I totally believe it. They got 30 new guys they got to incorporate. Dampier is one of those guys that people will rally around. They probably did it in New Mexico. If we were to talk about anybody down there, that's just who he is. And you want that out of your quarterback. They all are leaders in their own way. Cam was, you see that wall? Yeah, I'm running through it. Ready, go.
And if my helmet pops off and my hair flops around in the middle of the Pac-12 title game, you will all be energized by it.
Yeah, he wasn't necessarily a verbose guy.
No.
A lot of talking, that type of thing. That's not who he was.
No, but he had a way of looking at people and having a little smile and a wink, and that confidence came across. So that his charisma wasn't verbal as much as it was the nonverbal.
He believes in himself so much that I believe in him.
Yeah.
And I remember
that was repeated up and down the roster.
Yeah, the first time I talked to him when he was redshirting and they were bringing in other guys, and I did a little one-on-one in that little mud room where they take off their shoes before they go in the locker room, and a bunch of guys there, noisy, and just like they were bringing in, I don't even remember who they were bringing in now because it was so long ago. And he's like, I don't give a crap. Hey, friggin' bring in Peyton Manning for all I care. I mean, he didn't say that, but that's what I took from him. So he had that level of
more
leadership.
obvious when you first talked to him, Cam Rising or Rudy Gobert?
It took a bit with Gobert, but I had a longer conversation with Gobert. But they're very similar in the individual beliefs in themselves. I will show you.
Yep.
And Rudy had a level of animus towards the disrespect. Cam got recruited by Texas and comes to Utah.
Yeah.
So not a whole lot of disrespect in the recruiting process.
Not to the same level of being drafted 27th.
Right. And so,
although the Jazz really believed in Rudy, I mean, they traded up to get him, and Locke came back at the end of the press conference that night. You and I were there, and came back, and he was just over the top about what a great pick that was.
yeah, Rudy had a massive chip. I don't think Cam had the chip. He just had the utmost confidence in himself. And even when, who was the other dude who went 15 for 13 in the spring game, Yak? Who was that guy that our friend here was all excited about?
Charlie Brewer.
Is that, because they had two of them, one like consecutive years.
Yes.
Neither one of them were worth a crap. And he got beat out.
Correct, yeah.
And I come in, what are you guys doing? You're picking the wrong guy. It's over here.
And we found out after
He's
the
your guy.
fact that, as Kyle is usually prone to do, you throw interceptions in practice, and he's going to be like, "Ee," and ultimately proved out that, they picked the wrong guy.
Yeah, interceptions are not like a terminal diagnosis. Sometimes you try to make a play.
Yep.
And
Squeeze the ball in there, and it didn't work.
And do you want somebody who's going to try to make a play, or do you want somebody to just be so pedestrian?
When your favorite games
cautious?
are 3-0 and 13-10, I think you've just answered your own question.
Yeah, well, he's a nincompoop.
Ha!
And Cam had that. And this kid, Dampier, this guy's got all sorts of charisma. Everybody around him on that team is going to be drawn to him. Great interview. Put him out there more. Let him go, dare I say, 2.5 minutes.
Whoa, that's crazy talk.
Whoa, 2:30?
Last question.
Hey.
Because I got the recorder and I can see the time on it.
Yeah.
And I was timing, when do we go last question here?
For comparison's sake, yesterday, all three BYU quarterbacks, the shortest one, 4 minutes and 39 seconds.
Well, there's a time it runs its course.
Especially depending on the answers.
And
like some
And the person being interviewed.
and the person being interviewed and what the storylines are. But a lot of college athletes will give you the simple sentence, and it's just, as you would like to say back then, it's a noun, verb, maybe an adjective, boom, it's done in 9 seconds.
It's boring.
So you can rattle through 10 or 15 questions, and you're 2.5, 3 minutes in. Meanwhile, you're over here talking to Tiger Bachmeyer, and you ask him a question about, is there a connection with your brother when you're on the field? Let me answer that by telling you two stories.
I'll cite you two examples.
Yeah. And
sixth grade and then high school.
Yeah, football and basketball, elementary school and high school. And it's like, that was the 2-minute answer right there.
Yeah, he gave great answers. Now, he's a little more mature.
Sure.
And you expect that. But, I don't think that necessarily Stanford is having a ton of media. Because it's way down the pecking order.
Way down the pecking order.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just a few miles away from the Niners, who obviously cast a massive shadow over everything. But Giants, Warriors.
And Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
They're super close.
They are super close.
They're actually closer.
San Jose State's not far away either. It's
It's
very crowded down there.
it's
very crowded.
Yeah, but San Jose is the closest. I mean, Santa Clara is the closest. It's one time Kelly Papinga told me, he said, at Virginia, what were they there, 6 years? He said, I would get interviewed once in a preseason, and that's it. And here, it's every week.
Yeah.
So
The passion for college football here runs deep.
yeah, which is why I love working here. Yeah, absolutely. The guy who called me old hurt my feelings, and I cried myself to sleep. But then I realized, well, he's right.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. But, I still got the do. Not too fat, a little paunchy, not bad.
Jason Beck, Utah offensive coordinator, top of the hour. Morgan Scally, defensive coordinator, 8:30. And Fesi Sataki, BYU assistant coach, passing game coordinator, wide receivers coach, coming up at 9 o'clock. DJ and PK, you had a debate that needs to be settled. Talking to Rock and Roller.
Sweet little rock and roller.
All right, we'll do that next. DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone.